let's try and isolate. This is not the first president who has former comrades on the battlefield. And there are other people who are his comrades when they fight against Abacha and even against democratically elected presidents who tried to completely scuttle the powers, not just of state governments, but of local governments. And we also have a situation in which even the governors themselves, remember the siege of Anambra, for instance, is more than one way of scuttling, the powers, the autonomy, shall we say, relative autonomy of states. So I keep saying, and this is not, and I get tired of repeating myself, that it's about time we took a holistic approach to this and sat down and correctly and rationally restructured the nation. Now, you say that he's been putting his own people in power. I'm sorry, I have not studied the extent. I don't know what the legitimacy of that is. But if you want to make a presentation to me later on, and let us look at it, believe me, I will immediately make my position quite clear. Now, when one says, let me go back, when one says, I am not speaking for the first year, the same principles are adopted with former presidents, whether you're talking about Buhari or you're talking about Jonathan. In this particular case, as a matter of fact, during the demonstration when the police shot and killed some demonstrators, remember, I had to break, quote unquote, my vow of silence. So there are always exceptions like that. At the same time, on the other hand, I've not swallowed an alarm clock. I don't see why I should put my alarm on and say, okay, 1 year is past, now I must make an assessment. If there's nothing I really feel like talking about, and if I'm busy elsewhere, I'm teaching elsewhere, I'm earning my living up till now elsewhere. So this business of, you haven't come to make this, I don't understand it. Other people are doing the same. This is a collective effort. The panelists speak consistently, the Bayous speak consistently, the showers come out and try to lead demonstrations. It's a collective effort. And I choose, according to my energy and my priority, projects which I have universally, globally. And I think it's and that is recognized and respected. People should stop trying to work out my timetable for me. You're free to impute motives to the structure of that calendar. That's their business, not mine. I know what I'm contributing.
Well, Prof, I know you'll understand why a lot of people want to hear your rating of this government. Of course, you said it, that you're not in the practice of rating the first 1 year. So are you saying that you want to push this forward, or you'd rather not even talk about it at all, just to be clear for people watching?
Let me ask you straight away. The 1 year is up, which means you have a right and I have a responsibility to respond when you call me on certain issues. But if you're saying that I would call a press conference and say, now 1 year is up, let us now make an assessment. The only question I'll ask is, did I do that with Jonathan? Did I do that with Buhari? Did I do that with Obasanjo? Did I do that with anybody? So why is it expected of me? All it means is that 1 year is up. If I'm around, you want to get hold of me, I will speak. That's all that statement meant.
Right. So, Prof, we've been able to get a hold of you, and we would really like you to speak.
Sorry, hold on.
We would really like you to speak to it.
I have to run on an appointment now. I have an event this afternoon. You are invited to it, World
Poetry Day. Yes.
Day. And I have a statement to make there, incidentally. I use opportunities as they come. So come to that one. And I had some statement which might interest you.
Prof.
And after that, I have another at the General Assembly in New York. Pay attention to it. The next one might be in Australia. You know very well I live in the plane.
All right, bro. Two things I would like you to speak to. Let's use the privilege we have before you go and make your presentation. So, two questions I want you to respond to. First is the fact that the economic policies of the president is biting very hard, and it's been difficult for Nigerians, which is why perhaps they're expecting you to speak, given the fact that the president has promised. These are short measures. These are measures that will be painful in the short term, but will be better in the long term. But given the fact that there's nothing new about such promises from politicians, Nigerians, some don't seem to believe. And they're just angry at the economic hardship. So I'd like you to speak to that as well in responding.
Yes, you want me to speak everything. I'm telling you, I have an event I have to go and prepare right now. Abi? Okay, just come to that afternoon. I will continue this conversation later. I know you want to continue eternity. No. I have to go. You told me 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Here we are now, nearly 50 minutes.
All right, Prof. It's understandable. Today is World Poetry Day, and we don't want to take anything from you, but we have to thank you so much for your time. You said some very instructive words that the younger generation should learn and study the things you did. Maybe they can come up perhaps with better measures to approach things. So, yes, we'll be doing the studying, and we say thank you for your time. We'll be speaking with Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka, not just on World Poetry Day, which you'll be hearing about, but on the state of the nation at large. Thank you, sir, and all the best in the skies.
You're welcome.